2, 1.
Glad to have you with us. We're going to show you how we're going to install the Sistine Stone corner shower with sliding doors. So, hope you and I learned something together. I'm Phil Bridges, owner of Straight Arrow Repair. Ever want to know how a repairman fixes things? Well, come with me and I'll show you how I solve problems. Let's make things better together. So if you want to take out a garden tub, we'll show you how we do that. And these ladies have fantastic taste. Pick up what you want. They are fantastic as far as good taste. So here we go. We're going to take it apart and we'll take you along. Alright, so we took off the trim and the wallpaper that was not loosely put on. Now I'm pulling off this panel so I can get to you. Usually not going to be very much as far as, sometimes it's drywall, but that will never last. Saw so we can cut this off.
Eles recording sawzall, you said?
Yeah. Okay, so let's cut this right here so we can reuse it in the wall. This is a mechanical vent. So that means they don't have a vent going through the roof. So let's cut there and then right there, right here first. And The mechanical bit we're on, but this part down here we're not. Oh, just in case you didn't know, we use a metal cutting blade, a long one, to cut the pipe. If you try to use a wood cutting blade, it will jerk that pipe and tear it up. So we use a lot of metal cutting blades, and usually long so we can flexible cut things. So I just wanted you to know, don't cut this water line.
Not the best for cutting wood, but it can still cut wood.
It does cut wood.
So you want me to cut it at the joint where it comes up?
Yeah.
You might have to hold this one to do it.
We're going to need 2 1/2-inch PEX plugs and crimp rings, so we can shut the water off.
You need me to check with plugs?
Huh?
So you need me to check with plugs? Or you should ask me to make a list?
No, I think we should have that in the box.
Alright.
You can bring the box in here if you want, but it's just, the only place we need it for right now is those water lines.
So 2?
Yeah, 2. Hot and cold. I've got a piece of wood or something right there. I probably have to. We're going to put caps on those that plumbing,
Okay.
and we'll tuck it underneath, and we'll come up where if we need to, we'll put shutoffs on it. Right now, we're getting ready to take the screws that hold it to the wall, climb underneath, disconnect the drain, and we'll have to reposition the drain, but that's all.
Okay.
This has a mechanical vent. It's on this, and I'm going to reuse it.
Okay.
It'll probably be in the wall.
Okay.
But that's to replace having to take a vent through the roof. And you can do it in the wall, as long as you're above your drain.
Okay.
Just for your information. But we're making progress. I think this will be out in about 15 minutes.
Okay.
20. There'll be a nut underneath here. And he'll have to spin it off. And then allergic to this stuff. Alright, so we don't have a way to shut the water off until after lunch or something. So, take the saws off
You cut around that.
and cut around that without cutting the water lines.
So you don't want to salvage the tub?
Right?
So you don't want to salvage the tub?
No, the tub's not going to be salvaged. Nobody wants these tubs.
I thought you did.
No. Whirlpool, yeah. If it's a whirlpool, yeah, I do.
Have you
record what you're doing?
Have you been moving this?
Yeah,
Quit moving it. It sees the whole frame.
I'm just saying.
Stop moving
You're
it.
not around here.
It can see the whole frame. Stop moving it.
Yes, sir. Straight right there.
Moving it again.
I like to move it. I like to move it, move it. Move it. Can you cut over the top? Oh, sorry. You're not knocked out, you should have been. They were sitting on that. Let me see if I can break it out from there. Bleed? I don't know. Can't see any blood yet. Oh, that's hard.
I know. If it was over there, you put it there.
I didn't put it there.
It was over there.
I didn't put it anywhere. But hey, I've been married. It's my fault. Okay, see if you can lift that hammer out. Let's see if I can hammer it out. Now, we need the dumbbell. I can probably hammer out around, but I need to just go
Do it correctly.
in here, and then you need to go underneath. Let me see if I can hammer around it, break it out.
Or we just do it correctly. Oh, that doesn't matter.
No, you can take it underneath and show them how you take the nut loose from the. But the dumbbells keep it from spinning, and I'll have to do that anyway after the tub is gone
Yeah,
out.
we need 2 wheels.
Huh? Break all this out if I can. There's foam under it, probably won't.
Well, I mean, it won't come up, but the tub will come up.
Yeah, but I don't know if I can break through it. It's got foam that will absorb the shock like rubber. Wish they.
Well, they can see.
pulled the screws that hold it from the outside. So we should be able to lift this up, stand on the edge, and walk it out. Then we'll take it out to the garage.
Connection. You gotta make sure your connections are tight.
Yeah, there's a plastic gray connection.
Also, make sure that your surroundings are secured. You know, so you don't have pictures falling on your head.
American bathroom.
Is this where we see where the glass is cracked?
We got foam.
You want foam, make sure it's all filled.
We got, yeah. I don't know how long I'll have foam, but
All the tiny stuff. It's kind of free. You gotta pick it up.
supposed to be 600 pounds.
Like 600 pounds?
The guy that delivered had to deliver it with a pallet jack because he couldn't lift it. It's supposed to be 600 pounds. The glass in here.
Maybe we need Aaron Donald to lift it up.
These one of those have numbers on them.
794, 794. Yeah, I'd say.
Right now, I guess it goes to the same kit, maybe.
Yeah, make sure you put all of this together.
They're light and then
5 pence.
heavy.
That's pretty fun.
Let's go in there and stack all that
Is
stuff.
this like ceramic?
I don't know.
Feels like ceramic tile.
It's loose.
Are we supposed to apply like ceramic?
I don't know yet. I haven't read the instructions.
Well,
Let's take this stuff in and we'll read the instructions inside.
in the meantime, we will charge you.
We're gonna move stuff. Don't need to show you how to move stuff, I hope. Alright, so what I'm doing, I need to make an opening for this mechanical vent to be inside the wall. So it can, when the water goes through, the mechanical vent will let air pass and then back up. Now sometimes they would make plumbing where the vent would go straight through the roof and it would do that. But the mechanical vent allows that inside that flapper to happen whenever water goes through the drain. The air gets pushed so it allows it to go up and then sucks it back down. So we're going to put that right there. I'm opening up a little piece of wall right here because I know that the faucet is going to be right here. So I'm going to put the faucet maybe right in here, and then I'll have some flexible lines that go to the faucet and some shut-offs right here. And I need to get all this in the wall before we put the hardy board on this for this kit, and I also can get that allows me to get the water lines out of the way, so I can put this pre-made pan in place. So I'll move the water lines, come up this wall here, have the shutoffs, and have the ability to put in wood to support the faucet, which we don't have yet. And so that's what I'm doing now. It's marking out, this is where I'd get in through, drill the holes through the wall or through the floor, and this is where the faucet would be. This is where I drill the holes and put in the mechanical vent over here, and we'll show you that. So now, I guess I'll just take a razor knife, since the keyhole saw is not here yet. We gotta get an 1.5-inch line drilled there. Even if you have to drill multiple holes, we gotta get an 1.5-inch line through there. And I'd say close to this drywall, because over here will be a 2x6, I believe.
Inch and a half.
Yes, got an 1.5-inch pipe. Gotta have a big enough hole to get the 1.5-inch pipe through.
So it's gonna be a 2-inch one.
You can, it's a little big, but yeah. A little tougher than it should be, because there's paneling. It's thin paneling, but paneling underneath. Is that big enough?
This is 2 inches.
That is,
What are you asking?
it's a pipe. This is 1.5 inch.
Do I need to get 2.5 inch?
You need to get, so I said, an 1.5 pipe. Now, will that work? I don't know yet. It looks close.
No, the pipe's bigger than that. So I get 2.
No, it isn't. Why are you doing that? You contradict what I say. It's crazy. This is 1 7/8, and this is 2 inch.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 2 inch.
It's gonna be close, but it'll work.
Why is this thing?
You might have to take that drywall all the way down to the floor to get in there. And it can't be that far out because there's a 2 to 6 there.
I know, I'm trying to. Can you cut a little higher? Or is there something wrong?
No, I can cut there higher, but you can too. I'm an musician. I've been and cut all this. And shut the phone off for a bit. You need some PEX to go from here to here, blue and red. Here down to there, and then we got to connect all this up. You can actually go a little further, but I mean blue and red. That's not much. Doesn't take much at all. I'm waiting on the PEX.
I was trying to tell you that.
What?
That the joist that one's connected to, what runs long ways, is the one that's rotted.
Yeah. We'll run a drain through there. That's done. Now I need to stretch the cord out to the garage area, and I need to cut 2x in here. And then when you get these, the lines that were coming up here, we connected them underneath there and then brought them up here so that we can hook them up to the faucet that's going to be here. They haven't got that yet. We filled in the 2 holes. We put in the mechanical vent over there, and we marked where the drain will be in this big part. And we marked where the box will be. And now I have to put silicone, 100% silicone according to instructions on this area. So I'll sweep one more time and then I'll do the silicone. And you guys get to watch that.
Watch you sweep?
No, that's evidence that I can do it.
You playing house?
Maybe you could blackmail me because I actually do know how to sweep.
You playing house now?
I can play house. I've done it before. Alright, so
So what are we watching?
Honeymooners?
We're watching Honeymooners.
Is that what you were watching?
No. Well, yeah. That's not what I was searching up. Okay, just to confirm that it's 100% silicone. Right there.
Ooh. It's gonna stick all the better.
Some guys can be in the comment section saying that you messed up. Well, that's what the instructions said, right?
Some guy with 3 videos of him fishing. We have to have something to puncture the.
Use these scissors. Here you go. Here you go.
No, I need a. There should be a 3-inch screw in that box of screws.
3-inch screw. Oh, you got it? What's next, Dad? You're gonna want heated floor in your house?
Me?
Yeah.
A lot of people like these floors.
Yeah, you know how much work that is?
It's not that much, but it is work.
Yeah.
The problem I have with it is if you lose power in the cold weather, all that water that's inside the floor is gonna bust. Put it in packs and everything.
No. They do heated. I mean, that's how they do it in Europe. Because they use heated floor through
They use it here too. They actually have heated driveways now.
I saw somebody do it with electricity.
Ooh, that sounds really even.
It was really expensive. That's what I was saying. It was hard because they put like heat strips through the floor. It was weird. Imagine if one of those go out.
Well, you can walk around barefoot and not have to worry about it.
What, about being cold?
No. You don't have to worry about feet getting cold.
That's a good way to wake up.
Have curly hair.
Oh.
At that point, call you curly.
Well, I mean,
Oops.
I was trying to give you this. Well, don't cut yourself.
I've done that. I'll be dead when I start making mistakes.
Here, you can take this now. Or that's bigger than this, huh?
Oh, why is that not? Okay, it is.
Now, if you're asked if he's going in any particular order, no.
Didn't say to do that.
He's just doing some random things. Try not to repeat the same thing over and over, right? Well, you're about to get smacked in the head one of these times. Do you think you can fish better than those guys that have their fishing videos?
Do I think I can fish better?
Yeah.
If I'm hungry, I sure can.
Well, you don't.
My dad and my uncle said I was not a good fisherman. I was a good catcher.
Cause you just
I
caught
caught more than they did.
You just caught everything.
I just didn't enjoy it. It's So anyway, we got to do the heavy lifting, you and I.
So I'll take them away. Bye, guys.
Alright, so I want you to know a little something about pipe thread. Pipe thread is not the same size all the way through. When it's threaded, it's thinner or smaller at the top. They cut more of the material out, and as you put it on the threads, it gets wider and thicker. So it will tighten further and further down. The further you go, the tighter it gets. So it's narrower, smaller at this top part than it is here. Now we're going to put some pipe joint compound on that. You could use Teflon tape. If you wanted to use Teflon tape, you use it on a right-hand fashion, and you can do Teflon tape and pipe joint compound. But in this case, we're just doing the pipe joint compound. That's been all I normally do. And I've not had any problems in 30 plus years.
Would you say it's just as good as Teflon tape, if not better?
It's easier to deal with than Teflon tape, but you can use them both. This is what we're putting on. In this case, it's a galvanized cap. You want to always use galvanized with water because it's galvanized on the inside and it's galvanized particularly on the inside. Because water get on it, it'll be rust. And if you have one piece of black iron, which is used for gas, if you have one piece of black iron not galvanized, that rust will come out in the faucet. So you don't want to use non-galvanized pipe or black iron pipe. You want to use galvanized. So here we go, putting the cap on the bottom because we do not have a bathtub spout. And that compound will allow us to, with the threads, to go further than if we didn't have it. And it might seal a little bit, but particularly it lets us go further. So we'll tighten this down with a pair of channel locks. And then we'll put a female to male adapter on that. And we're going to extend this PEX line up here, and we'll put the shower head connection up here. So, okay, so here we go. So we're putting the hardy board on to glue the pieces that go on this, and I've got to locate where these things go.
So you got homework?
Well, I gotta get with them, figure out what height is good for them, and location is another. We have a stud right here, and another one right here. So I will get with them, cut that in, and then I'll cut the party board around the hole. There's one stud. So, see that word there? My producer, editor, wife, love her to death. She told me that I should stop saying so much. She noticed that because she's doing the transcription. So too much. So I'm going to work on not saying so and be irritating to her. What we've done here is a kit that we've been showing you as we're going along. And the kit is meant for a regular house. This particular house we're working on is a double wide mobile home, and I work on houses too, but the depth of the wall, instead of 3.5 2x, it's 3.25, 3.5, something like that, 3.25. And instead of 1/2 inch drywall, it's 3/8. So we lost 3/8 of an inch. That being said, the little pockets that we put here, this took a lot of thinking. These things are meant to hold your shampoo and soap and things like that, and they are 3.5 inches. The problem that we have is that if I put them in with this sunk in another 3/8, that would put me at 2 7/8, and this would be standing up. And I did not want to deal with this that I can't really fix without a lot of work sticking out. So what we went ahead and did was brought this on top of the 3/8 so that we don't hit on the wall, the siding back here. And we're really close, but we're not hitting. And this is where I'd got with them to find out where they would like to see their shampoo and such sit, and that's where they wanted it, and we put it there. People can always change their mind, and that's all right. Now that meant that I had to do it all the way around. Now, I'm saying now a lot now. Listen here now. So like Super Trooper when they say meow, how many times they say meow? Listen here, meow.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. We are putting in a shower faucet here. And they bought a Moen shower faucet. So the width between these boards, these framing studs, is 14 5/8, which that's very normal. But I wanted to make sure that this, on this kit, if you notice it shows up right there, that this will be at what is comfortable for them, 44 inches. And then I took it to a, this would be an 1/8 inch further out, and this is your trim ring. You'll take this off. But the measurement behind it is 1 5/8, and that's exactly the width of a 2x4. And we'll put that 2x4 back there against the outside. We got a staple to deal with, and I made my marks where the center of it will be at 44. And it has screws right there, screw holes. So you take this bracket off, see these little clips right there? We need better lighting in here. But you take these little clips loose, pull them.
Move around.
Yeah, I'm just, see right here, sideways? I'm pulling it like so. On both of them, I'm pulling it out. That way, whenever I put the 2x4 in here, I can put screws to it like so. But before I put the screws to that 2x that we're going to put in here, I'm going to be putting PEX connections, actually connections right here on top, on the upside, right there. And I'm going to put one on the bottom so I can block it off. So that doesn't have a bathtub drain, so we don't need that. And we'll block it off, and I'll show you what we'll do. And then these connections right here, the hot, which is the red one here, will go to the left side. I have the red PEX right here. That one will go to the left side, and the cold water will go to the right. That's a general principle. So here we go. I'm saying so again.
Here we go.
So, like the Joker in the Batman movie, here we go. So we're gonna get another 2x4 and put this together, and we'll show you how we do it. The studs are tighter. This one's tilted in the back, so I cut it for the size up here, but it's closer in there. I'm just gonna drive it in. Then I get a screw gun, some 3.5 inch 3-inch screws. Now, the center total width 42, so 21 would be the center in that general area. Then take some 1.5 inch screws, that size, and Gotta make sure that says up right there. And this, see how it says up? Okay. Made my center mark. That's going to be the center of the single handle faucet. Kind of semi-loose until we get both of them in there. I want that sitting pretty level. Now, I'm going to start putting all the things that we need to continue, like for the faucets. We won't need to put any pipe dope on here because this has a rubber gasket inside there that it sits on. So we'll put that on next. And I put shutoffs in here in case some point I need to work on it. This is the cold side, that's your right. Your hot side will be your left. I put plenty of hose, so we'll tighten these up clockwise. Then we'll put a female PEX adapter and another female PEX adapter in here. We'll end up putting a plug in it. We'll show you when we do that. Well, the shower head's going to be up here. I want that to be real sturdy, so I put a 2x4 behind it, and this has got what you call a drop-eared elbow. It has 3 screws. So I made sure that it was where it would be flush or lower than the surface of the drywall itself. And that way it'll be really strong right there if you see all the screws. And then this is screwed on the sides. I also added some wood in there so that when I put the drywall over it, it will have something to fasten to also, not be flimsy like it would be from here to here. But I'll have to do some drywall finishing over this. But this is what you can do, just like I did. This is, again, called a drop-eared elbow. It happens to have a shark bite connection. You can do a PEX connection with the crimp rings, but they didn't have one where I went to go get the supplies, and so we put the shark bite, which is push pull, push it all the way and then pull up, and it's very good. The reason I don't continue to use these all the time is because about 1 in 10 will leak, and they're very, very expensive compared to regular PEX fittings. Regular PEX fittings will be about $3. This is about $10 or $11, $12. So it's reduced the cost that I have to pass on to one of my friends / customers. All right. It looks like we already got the shower panels, panels up, but it's not. Now, what reason that it's not is because this is not glued. This is what you call dry fitting according to the instructions. This was cut around that plastic ring that you measure to and get ceramic tile up to it and protect all that. And that was cut. Measure a lot. Make sure that you got it right. Make sure that the top of both of these panels match up. Okay? And that way you keep everything even. Again, measure really well. And cut your holes so that you can put in the stuff at a later date.
Make sure the direction.
It's kind of what we've done is run the grain with each other. You can go opposite if you want, but it took a lot of time to make sure that we cut it close. Now, what do we cut it with? It's a regular skill saw with a new blade and a jigsaw and maybe a paddle bit to get started. So it doesn't take anything but a regular skill saw, jigsaw,
Paddle bit.
paddle bit.
Christina might want to make a little pop up there.
Maybe. Now we're going to take these panels down. We're going to start over on the bottom. We're going to put 100% silicone. Like the instructions say, every bit of this has been put together with 100% silicone. That's clear.
He's gonna go along all the edge. Make a line. So it's sealing the edge for sure.
You notice I'm not doing it inside the shower itself because I don't want to get any of this caulking that might fall off into the shower and have to clean it.
You might want to do this in a ventilated area because this silicone has a
Strong odor.
There you go. Here's gonna go all the way around like a maze.
Pretty good size hole. 3-inch screw or nail.
Alright.
Just shelves that go inside the wall. I'm putting silicone along the edge. Put my hand in the center of it. Open that up for me so it don't push out. We're gonna leave the excess there, and I'll just take a knife and cut real close to that and peel it off. I'm hoping that's why, instead of trying to smear it. And we'll probably, at some point, maybe put some silicone around it, seal it up really well. Let it sip it up.
Go to the next part.
Yes, it did.
Checking to see how it's going. It's looking good.
Similar to what it was before, but this time it's glued.
It's glued? Yeah. But you can tell. It looks good.
I fixed to put the bands
Okay.
up, so that'll be available for you to see in a minute.
Okay. How long is it going to take to dry before it can actually be used after it's complete?
It'll be dry today.
Oh, well. Awesome. So I can actually stand in a shower tonight?
Quite possible.
Possibly?
We still gotta climb underneath and cook up all the sewer, but
Okay.
gotta put excess panel outside.
So do you still think that the septic tank is hidden in those things that are growing outside the garage under one of them? Probably the one closest that has the taller things?
I don't know if it's underneath that, but the line goes underneath that.
Okay. All right.
It'd probably be up there and then goes down and runs.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious because if we ever need to have it pumped out,
Need to find it,
I need
yeah.
to find out where it's at.
I may take a look at it here in a second. Hold on, let me get this cut.
If you're looking to reuse the screw, just go clean it off with like a towel, or in this case, the foam it came with. Let's let him show you.
Now, believe it or not, even though this is ceramic, I cut it from the back side with a saw. real slowly, cut it, and then deeper until it went through. I really didn't have much damage at all. So if you don't have a ceramic tile saw, you could do it that way.
But recommend.
I recommend it if you've got a saw or a way to break the tile. It'd be a good idea to do that.
And to use, you know, something to
Make sure it doesn't drop.
So let me put this down.
I need a smaller cut. Let's see.
You do too?
Let's see. Don't wipe it down. Just leave it like that.
How long with the glass? I gotta get the handle right, I guess.
I could just do the same thing with the corners up here. Alright, so we put the cover on with screws, and to get it to where it's off, you end up putting this little slight notch, not the flat areas on top and bottom, but there's a notch even lower right here. It's got to face down to the drain. Well, we've got the screws put in to hold the ring on. We've made sure that this area here, this stem right here, has two flat areas. One of them has a little notch right there. That goes down, straight down. That gives it to the off position. Then we're going to slide this piece, which is actually two pieces. This is how you adjust your temperature for max so you don't get yourself overheated. We don't know what the temperature is yet. May want it overheated, but it is something that you can do. So you put one inside the other, has the ability to move so that you can stop it before it gets too hot. And then this black piece goes on it like so, and it'll only go on. Now that, see, notice how that's facing down. Then we put this screw in. I don't have a screwdriver. I would recommend using a screwdriver, but I have to hustle to go get one. I'm going to go in real slow so as not to strip it. There we go. Now, if you notice inside this handle, there's an area for that notch to go into. That's right here.
There's a screw. It just goes at the bottom.
It seems kind of loose. There's an Allen wrench that they give you with the set.
But that's the handle on.
Not terribly fancy, but
Ta-da! No more so, right?
now you can take that back out, take the handle off, change the position of that middle white piece after the black piece is off, and tilt it back that way so you stop at a warmer temperature instead of hot or a cooler temperature. So that's something you have the option to do. I'm not real happy with how that wiggles around. What we've had to do, I couldn't take you with us to do it. The fixed panels, the larger panels, have to go on first. You would want to put them in first to see how they do and get yourself familiar with what's going on. In this case, the larger panel goes on the larger side. And that panel goes into the slot here after you put silicone in there for it to stay. And when you do that, this area right down here that it sits on is sloped away so it'll run water away. But guess what? It tries to slide down. So we put silicone on here before we put the panel in, and we put silicone in there like I said. Then I cut a piece to hold it up against so that silicone will hold. And I did the same on this one. Silicone in here and silicone down here, and then put a piece in here to hold it solid. Now this wasn't quite as level, the wall is not level, so it wanted to pop out on the bottom. So what we did is put this piece in here to the corner to hold it in place, and that way we did the same on this. Didn't really have the same problem on this one, but we did on that one. So you want something to hold it in place until the silicone dries. That's 100% silicone. Now what we did find is that the instructions were not complete with what we had, so we had to send off, and they had them available on how this works. By that time I'd already kind of figured it out, like you see right here. I had to figure out what the purpose of this one here with the rubber in it. That is what the sliding panel bumps into. So you figure out, if you don't have this, it will roll. When you roll it over here, it'll fall out. Well, no, it won't. When you go back here, it'll fall out of this one. So we got to set this where the bracket here is glued on. It's got some plastic pieces that go in it. But you glue that in place, and you glue the plastic piece in place so that it will slide inside of that and bump into this one, not come out. If that makes any sense. So this one has to be glued yet, and we're going to work on that here shortly. But there you go. We're making progress, and the instructions are. The pictures sometimes are a little bit better, but they're not a very good picture either. And these are the handles that you have. Round handles, no brackets at all. The rollers on this case, it shows you how to put those rollers in, but they're already in place and fastened, so we can't mess with that until that is solid in place.
And grout.
We've ordered grout. We'll show you doing that later. But we gotta grout all that and then seal it. There you go. Well, this is a Sistine Stone corner shower. When it was delivered, one of these pieces was shattered. Had nothing to do with us. When we uncovered it, was that way. Now we're going to take out, hopefully carefully, in case you guys know, nobody that does this, I'm going to use a little piece of wood to keep from hitting this side and breaking that side and have more to replace. I'm going to have to vacuum all this anyway. I don't want to get underneath that other one. We want to get all this stuff out of there. Blow on it. Guess I gotta close my eyes for that. I don't have a glass in my eye. Alright. This is a piece that we cut off of the length. So what we'll do is we'll take this one here off of this, and it has a backing on it. I can do this without cutting myself. Run the razor knife behind it. I think I'm going to go ahead and take all this off of it. Or at least a lot of it off. We're going to have to arrange it.
This is what, 100%?
100. Everything in this kit has been recommended adhesive is 100% silicone, which I have not experienced silicone being used as an adhesive. I've used it to seal up things. This is unusual for me to use 100% silicone instead of like liquid nails.
But
But I understand in a wet position, I understand why you'd want to use silicone.
Use your knife to.
Push it over a little bit. There we go. It's a lot better little pieces. They were all shattered.
It's vacuum time.
Now we're going to vacuum it up and then get ready to put grout on this part and the band.
And
That's-
open the.
And I'll put silicone around those containers. But what we ran into last we were here was the instructions, which have been consistent, hard to understand. These pieces here, somehow I got the impression that there was a loose piece of plastic that goes inside these that was supposed to sit on this side and it slides through, but it didn't go there. The loose piece of plastic goes inside there, you put it on this glass here, up a little bit with your camera. So you sit on top of the glass and then you slip this over it, and it really is hard to get on. That way it doesn't move much here. Put a little silicone at the same time while you're inside there. So it goes on top of the,
Like this.
matter of fact, there's a good example, yeah. Right there. We got too much silicone, but we got some cleanup to do. Maybe overqualified for that. Now the reason you would have that is if you don't have that bumper right there, this would fall out. So
You're happy with it.
So we've got this one in, we're gonna put this one in. By the way, we had to shim these to get those, if you can see that little piece of plastic right there, to get it to sit straight. You may have to do that too. Again, these are siliconed in place.
Not this one though, unfortunately, because we have to.
Put the glass door
Actually,
in.
we might have actually still this one. Yeah, we're just outside the door.
Yeah, ideally, if we can. So that's what we're gonna do is put the door in. I'm gonna do some drywall finishing up there, and we'll vacuum all in here and grout all this. Then we'll go underneath, work on the drain. We'll take you with us. Okay, we're installing a Fluidmaster 14x14 click fit excess panel. It says to cut along this dotted line, and then that is your template. So blew away. So that is supposed to be a 13 3/4. set my depth so it's just the thickness of the siding. Get a screwdriver or something and pry bar that out. Nails right there. Get a hammer.
Hang on.
What? That's why the screws are holding it. So the hammer breaks the screws off. Okay, we're not turning those on until such time. That's great. Okay, we'll clean all this up and snap that back in there. Away we go. Guess what? I have figured out that even expensive duct tape like Gorilla Tape, and this is called Iron Force tape, and other tape that's tried to hold up underpinning underneath a mobile home, the plastic, doesn't seem to last a long time. You know, a lot of times you'll see strips of duct tape falling down. So what I've been using here lately, although about the same price, is foil tape. This time you take the wax paper and peel it off. This stuff for some reason holds way better initially and stays longer. There's also another type of foil tape. Look at this type. This one here doesn't have the foil on it. And it's hard to find the end sometimes, but that's why you want to fold it like that so you can find it. But you'll find this stuff works better than duct tape. I don't know why, but in my experience, I hope it helps. So we're getting ready to mix some grout on the tile in this Sistine Stone sliding glass door corner shower. Wow, it's a long name. And what I usually do, I mean, I can mix it up in big pans, but we have a very small space, and big buckets and stuff like that, but we have a small space. So what I'm gonna do is pour water in here. This is not real level. I'll just pour the whole bottle. Then this is a inexpensive, well, white dry grout. It's not sanded, non-sanded, so it will not scratch the tile and look real smooth. This is stuff you would put in bathroom areas and glass tile so it doesn't scratch your tile and things like that. And then it's real easy to clean out. Sanded would go on places like the main walking area, things like that. Then I have a battery powered drill to make sure those little deals there are sticking out. This has come from a mixer. that you would use at home to mix up
Eggs.
eggs or whatever. And I got it at Goodwill, and I just buy them up for a quarter to 50 cents a piece. And stick them on truck and use them for all different kinds of things. Fast mud, grout, snow leveler. It's a little bit soupy for what I want, so I'm going to add some more. I think I may have to add a little more water now. Too much. All right, that looks like it'll be fine. A lot of times people use a rubber float to push it in. You push the grout in, and that's okay. Very, very familiar myself with a 6-inch knife or such, and it's very handy for me. This is a good example why I don't like to use
Steel. Aluminum.
non-stainless compared to stainless. Stainless can be sitting out around and never rust up, whereas this might have been clean, and now it's all rusted up. And that would transfer into this white. And those pits, or little holes in that knife from the rust, end up making holes when you finish. So I don't normally, I probably got that at a thrift store or something. It's good if you can continually oil them. A lot of times we're in a hurry, patch job, and doesn't get cleaned well enough or oiled, taking the time with a little bit of oil to keep it from rusting. But that's why I use stainless. They're hard on your hands, but had a lady that called me or texted me and wanted some advice on how to get her skirting job on a mobile home done. And I wasn't able to get back with her as quickly as I wanted to probably, but through several weeks, she's managed to get her skirting job done herself. And I am so proud of her. And that's a good example of, so people, if they want to, they can do these things themselves. And that's really why I'm doing this. Now in this area, I mean, originally I started, this is like a resume, and I outlived a lot of customers that I have, so I needed to have something to show people that they didn't have to take my word for it. I could actually do it. They could go and see me do it through a little video. But it's actually worked to where I'm able to help a lot of people understand how to get it done. And then they're doing it. That's really cool. Really cool that they're able to do their own work. And that makes it all worthwhile for me. To be honest with you though, I wouldn't accomplish it without my wife helping me and my guy that's working with me, Clay. They have been helping me all along. So credit should be given to them. My wife doing all the internet work for the website, and she's been doing this for years now. And so I'm just a turtle on a post, which is really cool to see a turtle on a post, but you know he didn't get there by himself. So I'm just a turtle on a post. Got a lot of help. Alright. Let that sit up a little bit, and we'll wipe it out with a bucket of sponge, water with sponge, and we'll wipe it all down.
When it's dried.
You don't have to wait till it's totally dry, but when it's getting dry, yeah.
There we go.
Now we gotta clean up. By the way, we went underneath the house and could not take you with us. It was so tight, it's like crawling underneath somebody's couch to put in plumbing. And we put the plumbing in for the drain. We insulated everything, and then we put the plastic back up for the underpinning. So you couldn't be there for that. Sorry. Alright, so there's that sun. What we're doing now is wiping down the excess. So that we can find a way to not have much to wipe down whenever it dries. I'm gonna take some, since I made a mistake. that dry up and then we'll wipe it down again. Alright, so we have a footstool. It goes there. If you notice, I've cut these pieces of wood so I don't have to hold it. I pre-drilled these holes. There were already some pre-drilled in there. I just made sure they would fit. This drill, so I just curl up in this thing. I'm not really made for this.
Here, what?
Now I'm going to change out my that just screws up there.
Yep.
Sits like that.
Yep. Look at that.
And there's one. I have to put tape on it.
Man, it's not that heavy. It's still gonna show on it. It's good.
You don't want to stay there.
How tall?
It's Phil Bridges. If you like what you saw, you think it might be helpful to somebody else, push that like button and let other people know what you and I now know. And we'll work together toward making a brighter future. And by the way, we're not Americans, we're Americans. See you next time.